Hey guys, it's Bill from Southport Chev, and today we are going to show you around the new Tahoe. So this is a 2021 Tahoe Premier that we just got in a really cool color combination. It's the dark blue, the midnight blue metallic with jet black and maple sugar interior. You got to give them a quick glimpse of this interior, Ryan. So it's kind of cool. It mixes the black carpets headliner with the maple sugar dash and seats, which is really neat. But yeah, today we're going to tell you all about the new Tahoe. So a few people that have had Tahoes will kind of run through a bit of what's new, what's different, and a lot of the improvements that they've made. One of the biggest ones, first off, is they have stretched the wheelbase and they've stretched the overall vehicle by about 6 inches. While doing that, it actually made it so you actually have a lot more functional third row seat, as well as even the door opening. The old Tahoe, the door kind of swooped a little bit more around the wheel well, where this one now has a much wider opening and has the seats that these now slide forward and backwards, where in the previous generation they were just fixed, and they do still fold it down and up, so you can have it so it's fully flat throughout, or have it so you have a walk through to the third row. Other thing you can kind of peek inside there, Ryan, is they got rid of the hump in the back. So in the previous generation Tahoes, the floor by the rear, the third row seat was raised probably 3-4 inches from what the rest of the vehicle's floor was. They have now changed the suspension design to actually make it so that you can have a flat floor and actually have legroom in the back and not have your knees up in your chest. Again, doing that suspension change and stuff so that they can have the floor flat. This now has an independent rear suspension. Another nice improvement that they've done in this, because now if you're hitting bumps and stuff like that, instead of if you hit one, like a bump on one side of the back, you don't feel it all the way throughout the vehicle. It just moves that tire rather than moving them both together. Out back, a few of the nice things that they've kept from the previous generation. It now still has the split opening hatch, so you can open the glass separate from the door itself. If you just need to put something in at the top, or if stuff slides back, you can shuffle it forward before you actually open the back. And then this is still a power opening trunk in most models. Other neat things that they've done is they've taken the dual exhaust, similar to what the Camaros have had for years, and actually put that into the SUVs as well. Out back, so third row seat is still power folding. Second row is power folding, just manual to lift it back up, where the third row will lift itself. And they do still have some storage underneath. They have made the rear storage space a little bit bigger as well. And you can get a Suburban still, which has a ton of space in the back. So again, Tahoe used to be very limited behind the third row seat. Now you do definitely get a little bit more room. It does also still have the hitch down below, so these are still able to tow just over 8,000 pounds. I believe it's 83 or 8,400 pounds depending on the model that you go with, in a max trailering package Tahoe, where last year was right around the same kind of weight. Other couple things kind of walking around the vehicle. So they've done the LED taillights, which are really cool. This one has 20-inch wheels. There are a bunch of different wheel and tire options between the different Tahoe models. This one, just being a Premier, has a little bit more of that shine to it. So it's got the kind of bright wheels. It's got the bright trim around the window, or around the windows. It's got the chrome mirrors, little bits of chrome on the handle, but not overly chromed out. So it kind of gives it a nice little bit of shine without going too crazy. Why don't we hop inside, let's take this thing for a drive and kind of talk a little bit about how it handles on the roads. And yeah, we'll show you a little bit more. All right, so now we're inside this Tahoe. Again, this is the 2021, the new model. So it's got a completely new interior from what the previous generations had. They did take a lot of the styling and a lot of the technology out of the trucks. The new 2019 and newer Silverados had a lot of this stuff, just they've improved it even more for the Tahoes. So for instance, this has the new version of the Chevy MyLink, like the new Infotainment Systems, which is super seamless. So it has a couple different home screens that you can see your navigation, your audio, your phone, everything all together, or you can swipe over and have all your apps. It works super smooth. It also has, so this will show the 360-degree cameras, forward camera, rear camera. You can pull up curb views. You can zoom in on your trailer hitch if you're loading up to a trailer. It's got a ton of options for that. Go back to the front view for now. And then again, this has, click the home button here. It's super seamless between, it has quick links to jump from audio, phone, everything like that. So really nice infotainment system, and they've made the screen way bigger. The trucks only had an 8-inch screen, where this one now is a 12-inch center screen. So really nice and big. They also switched from having the lever style shifter to having the selectable button shifter. This one actually has a 10-speed transmission, which is really cool. But yeah, it's just kind of nice. It's kind of unused dash space anyways. So this way, instead of having the lever, which a lot of people thought was kind of old school, now you have a button shift. As for ride quality, handling, everything like that, they've done some really cool stuff. So there's a few different suspension variations that you can get in these Tahoes. This one, being a Premier, has the magnetic ride control, so it auto adjusts to the road conditions, how fast you're driving, what kind of terrain you're in, everything like that. There is also just the standard suspension, or there's an option of air suspension now with magnetic ride control. So in the Premiers, or an option in the Z71s, you can actually have it where it is self-adjusting for height. So you can have a parking mode that'll drop the vehicle down by about 2 inches to make it easier to get in and out. On the highway, it drops the vehicle about 3/4 of an inch from the standard ride height. And then you can put it in 4 high to increase to being a kind of an off-road mode, to give you basically a 2-inch lift kit without actually buying a 2-inch lift kit. So yeah, like I said, the suspension is, they've always been super smooth in these Tahoes, but it is really nice to drive. Other things that they've done is there's a few different powertrain options. So this one is the 5.3 liter V8, has 355 horsepower and 383 foot-pounds of torque. It is also available in a 3 liter Duramax, which has 277 horsepower, I think, or 266, one of the two, around 270, and 460 foot-pounds of torque, and a 6.2 liter with 420 horsepower and 460 foot-pounds of torque in the high country models. So yeah, depending on, you know, how fast you want to get your kids to soccer practice, or how late you are for work every day, there's definitely an engine option. All of them are really great on fuel, but obviously that Duramax is going to be just insane. Other neat things that they've done, they still have the auto transfer case, so you can have it in 2 high for days like today. You can run it in auto 4x4, where you don't get like the 4x4 bind up on the steering wheel when you're going through parking lots and stuff like that, or you can lock it right in 4 high and put it in 4 low. When you do have the 2-speed, like the 4 low transfer case, you can even flat tow these behind RVs. So that's one really cool option that the GM is still offering in their vehicles. Other than that, the technology is pretty crazy in this. You can get massive screens for the back seats, which this one doesn't have, but you can get screens that will, you can pull up, you can mirror image your phone. So I have a Samsung and it works with the Samsung, so I can watch like Netflix. I can even send type out a text message right off my phone on the screens that come in the back of these. So for your kids in the back, or third row or second row passengers, it is really cool. I can also even pull up the navigation, so it takes "Are we there yet?" to a whole nother level. And then yeah, even the fit and finish and the quality of the inside. So they've done a leather stitch dash, even on the console and stuff, it's all got that nice leather stitch to it. They've done just little bits of wood grain, so there's some just up in the top of the dash here as well. But yeah, they haven't gone overboard with the wood grain or with much of a gaudy color or anything like that. It is actually a super classy looking interior. And yeah, that's it's honestly a really nice vehicle to be sitting in and driving. Other couple cool things that they've done is they now have up in front of the cup holders, which you probably won't see from back there, but they have a wireless charging pad that is way bigger than anything that we've had before. So for a lot of people that have the plus size phones, you can just drop it in there and you're not worrying about trying to fit it into a skinny little wireless charger. Just plop it on there and she should, as long as you don't have a case that blocks your charger and your phone, it should fire up no problem. Yeah, we'll take a couple clips of it kind of driving by and show you a few more things. We'll also show you some rear seat legroom once we get back to the dealership. And then yeah, one other thing that's kind of crazy too while I'm looking back, this one now has the full panoramic sunroof, which the Tahoes never have had before. So it's really cool that you have a power sunshade that'll cover it all, or you can open the front part, opens pretty massive, but even just for light in the vehicle, it's really nice how much, or how bright you can really have it. Yeah, let's show you a little bit more about this thing. So again, on the size of this thing, The old Tahoes, again, used to have the floor that raised up in the middle. This one you now actually have it so you can actually be an adult and not have your knees in your chest. Also, the old ones, it was very tough to fit an adult in all 3 rows, where this one you can kind of see, like I can have my feet in front of me, I can still have a few inches of knee room. And then if I was to hop into the middle row, tons of space here. These seats can even recline, like way back, or you can slide them, so if you want more space, they can go and get a ton of room. And then this seat is still set up to comfortably sit an adult as well. So if you are looking for something to fit your family or growing family, or even just something to kind of take passengers around, the Tahoe is a really nice option for that. These back seats too, the middle row is heated. So the middle ones here, as well as there's USB-C chargers in the middle row, and in the 3rd row seats there's 4 USB-C chargers plus a built-in house style inverter down the middle. So tons of charging. When you get those big screens back here, it's like you're sitting in a limo. But yeah, they're a really good option for a family vehicle. So if you're interested, or if there's anything we didn't touch on that you want to know more about on this thing, let us know. We'd be happy to show you. And if you want to come and see one in person, again, we're down at South Fort Chevrolet, Fort Saskatchewan. We'd love to show you.